Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to close cut your jewelry as well as do it in the form of making an action so that it can be done in large batch processes. First, let me reveal that in the background of every product shot on a white background, there will actually be density and tones of the paper as well as color casting from the light. And this sort of coloring or some of those little dust spots, those will all show up in various monitors that don't display the correct gamut of color. So what we're going to do is create on our actions tablet, which can be found under window actions. I'm going to go new action. I'm going to call it close cut jewelry. Hit record, and now that the red button has been depressed and I'm recording under this action, everything I do for the next few minutes is going to be recorded and it can be repeated later on. So the first thing I'm going to do is select color range, and you'll see that there's this fuzziness thing where it's light pink, light pink, light pink, and then it goes to a solid red or magenta. Once it hits solid, if we go farther, you'll see it starts bleeding too much into the product. We just want to get it to where it kind of hits solid and go a little bit past that. Now I'm going to click OK, and that's the first thing we've recorded. Now I know I want to inverse the selection because right now we've selected all of the white background. I want to select the product, not the white background. So I'm kind of going about it in a positive backwards way where we select the easy thing to select, which is white, and then we inverse it. So select, inverse, and now the product has been selected. I'm also going to feather the selection because I don't want it to be too harsh a cut. So I'm going to feather that selection by 1 pixel, and it makes it a little bit easier to work with. I'm now going to switch to our layers palette, and down here I'm going to add a layer mask. And then I'm going to create a layer, drag that layer behind because this is going to be our new white background. I'm going to go edit, fill, white. Now that white is perfectly white. There's no dust, no specks, no nothing. It's just a new white background. I'm going to select the top layer and I'm going to select on the mask, back to the actions tablet, and I'm going to hit stop recording. So color range, inverse, feather, set background, make layer, move current layer, fill with white, select the top layer, and then select the mask on that layer. Every time I hit play now, so I'm going to go Windows, History, I'm going to go back to the open state of the product, and I'm going to move the history out of the way now. I can go back to this thing here, and I'm going to show you, I'm back to the beginning because I went back in history. I've got all those colors. Now I'm going to hit play, and I just did all those actions again. So it's like a 1 second completion of everything that I've shown you in this tutorial so far. Now, this is only part way because we know that I've affected some of the diamonds by cleaning out too much of the white and some of the highlights. The mask tool, if you can see it here on the layers palette, is essentially a black, white, and gray scale of hiding information. So if I was to use black and paint across, then it would hide this area. If I switch this from black to white and paint across, it reveals it. So it's not erasing or drawing, it's hiding and revealing. And if I was to make this, say, 50% gray, it would only hide a little bit. So depending on how black or how white your paintbrush is, determines how much it hides or reveals for different opacities. So the reason I'm showing you this is that we need to now go through and bring back detail that we've kind of lost in that color range selection. So if I go across here, you'll see that I'm making the diamonds more where they were when we first opened the shot and not just blown out from the harsh cropping that we did. So I'm going over the highlights in the areas and trying to bring back some density. Now, if I use a large soft brush, right now we have a hardness of 0, which gives it a feathered edge. And I could show you that feathered edge by doing that. Or if I had a hardness of 100%, then I could show you that we would do that. But I'm going to use a large soft brush to bring back some of the outside edges of these shadows. Just because during the close cut process, we might have lost some of that lovely shadow. There we go. And remember how I did a 1 pixel feather? Even in the back here, I think we lost some of the softness that we might have enjoyed. And I'm going to bring it back and a little bit of shadow behind it. just to give it more of a natural close cut feel, because things that are out of focus don't suddenly jaggedly stop on a harsh edge, and it looks odd to the human eye. Now, you can cover a large area. Rather than clicking and dragging to do this, I can click on one point, put my mouse over to the other point, hold shift and click again, and it will draw a line between the two places. So sometimes that's a shortcut I use to kind of get around all the size and scale. So at this point, I'm going to hit layer, flatten image. Also going to crop this down. And just to show you, by darkening the levels, all that background density and pixels are gone. So what we have now is a finished photo.